This thing is going crazy. Check, 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 check. Going crazy. Okay, that's working. My thing was frozen for like a second. Can y'all see me? Like everything was frozen. Everything was frozen. Everything was frozen. Everything was frozen. What is going on? I don't know what's going on, man. Trying to do my fancy. Kashai says she can't see nothing. Uh-oh. Kashai says she can't see nothing. Okay, you see me. All right, that's good. Okay. I done did all that work with my fancy new little stream starting thing in the beginning. Was it playing? Because everything was like, the whole thing was locked up and it was just acting crazy. Okay, so my little screen starting thing wasn't playing. They weren't like rocking the head and tapping the feet. It was muted at first. I saw the screen but didn't hear anything. No sound. It was a still pick. Yeah, it probably have been playing just like because when I first set it up, it was acting like it was doing the right thing. It was briefly then. Yeah, because when I started it was before I started it was acting like it was playing, right? And then once I went live, it just froze and the computer like froze. Not the computer, but the software froze, and it see, it's not it's not looping. It's supposed to loop. There it goes, working now. Okay, it's working now. I don't know what's going on with this thing. Y'all know how I am. When something ain't working right, I stop everything until I can figure it out. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know how I get down. Okay. Alright. So it's still okay. Alright. Now we can start the show correctly. Well, look at him. That boy there ain't gonna, hey. That boy ain't gonna, hey, if it don't act right, that boy go, he can't do nothing, boy. He can't do nothing. That was squirrel. Hey, good evening, everybody. If this is your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome and give you a nice hearty, well, thank you for always tuning in to Tim's Tidbit. If by some slither of my huge imagination, you don't know who I am. My name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande, and you are in tune to another episode of If My Picture Open Up. If my picture open up, the overnight price, the intraday price action recap. You hear me? Speaking of intraday price action recap, I didn't send out the bat signal. Hey man, y'all like my new stream starting graphic I made? I did that all by my lonesome. Y'all already knew I did the music, and then I did the other part all by my lonesome. I'm sending out the bat signal. In case somebody wanna pull up in the Discord. All right. Bat signal is sent out. The bat signal is sent out. Now, let's get to it, man. How y'all been doing, man? It's been a few nights. It's been a few nights since I did a price action recap, man. Had some stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Hanging out with my sweetie one evening, and then last night I was dog tired, and I had to do a Q&A with the mentees. I had to do a lecture with the boot camp. I said, man, I ain't got it in me to do 3 live streams back to back. And then tonight, we back at it. I'm back. I'm back. How y'all doing, man? Y'all holla at your boy. Who we got up in here? We got Rhonda Green up in here. We got Here to Learn and Share. We got Kashaya. We got Deborah. We got Lump. Lump, did you get your strip back? Did you get your strip back, Lump? I know you was adamant about that strip. We got FC up in here. We got Tish in here. I already said. All right. We got, yeah, man. Hey, I see more numbers than I see names, but that's it. We got Jim in the Discord. We got Jermaine JJ in the Discord. Hey, man, let's get to it, man. I got me some Candy Reds out there. They've been rolling in the smoke, and they waiting on me to, you know what I'm saying, come take care of it. Kim. What? I don't see Kim. Oh, yeah. Kim. What's going on, Kim? Sorry about that, Kim. I did skip Kim. I'm sorry, Kim. I jollipies. Let's get to it. I got some Candy Red softballs out there waiting for me. They've been rolled in the smoke. Texas in every way.
I ain't going for that. I think you got them out the oven, man. I ain't going for that.
They've been rolled in the smoke. Texas in every way. Hey, did you get your strip back? You was adamant about that strip.
Yeah. Everything in order, man.
Okay.
Everything.
Got the strip back. I got to get my strip. You know what I'm saying? Get my strip. What about my strip? Now I don't want no space. I don't even care about the line. Just as long as I got my strip. Hey, man.
Yeah, they got me right, though. It's a little darker than I thought. I got to see in the daytime, but they got me right.
All right, now. Don't let BSO get hope to you now. Is BSO still down there?
Yeah, they still around.
Oh, thought they might have changed the name or something. Let's squanch up the chart here and let's see what we got to go in zone. You know what I'm saying? See what we got to go in zone. Y'all see we got a couple first of session fair value gaps on there. If y'all don't know what that is, y'all should have been paying attention back in 2022 when Michael announced it. Let's this is today's new day open. No, that's the 16th. Oh, today is the 16th. I'm tripping. This is today's new day opening gap right here. So this is where today started. All right. So this is where today started. All right. Oh. Look what I just noticed, right? So if you remember this morning, we was talking about, well, everybody ain't gonna remember, but the boot camp members that's in here, somebody was talking about the power of three, a power of 3 day, right? And we went to the weekly chart. Oh, first I was like, when we look at this, right, we can establish a power of 3 day for both sides, right? Because we were like, you can look at, like, this is midnight, so we just looking at from midnight, right? And I was like, we can look at this right here, right, as opening, going below midnight, then above midnight, and then coming back down below midnight to go up. And then for the bearish sense, we can look at this as the open going above midnight, coming below midnight, going back above to go down, right? And now we see that it ended up being the bearish argument, right? Ended up being the bearish argument, right? We came here, we opened. This is the midnight open there. We came here, open. And then if we look here, we can also see that the midnight open and the 6 o'clock open were very, very close, right? Almost the exact same place. So now we can look at it as entire trading day, not just the true open, right? With the accumulation, the manipulation, right? Come back above the distribution, and we're coming back above that opening price. Remember, we said that above the opening price would give you the best opportunity to get short. And we once we were able to point out, now while we were talking about it, we would be back here, right? We would be back here somewhere, right? Let's just go 10 o'clock right there, right? Price would be here somewhere, right? Price would be there like this. This is what price would look like at the time, because we was talking about it on the morning session during the tape reading session, right? And once we established that, right, I was like, anytime you can form a bullish and bearish scenario, it's because you're typically somewhere in some type of consolidation, right? And now looking at the candle here, and because at the time we were trading it, the candle was, let me put a line there so we can get the understanding, right? So at that time when price is trading, right, we're going to put a line here like that, right? And I'm going to make that line thicker, and I'm going to make it azul. I'm going to make it azul, okay, so that we can see where price was at, right? And now when we look at like the candle there, so when we go there, that's where price was, right? Because when you put it in market replay, it's going to show you the end of the candle that you're in, and that's where the end of the candle is now, right here. But at that time, right, this was if this right here is the open of that candle, and so this was a big green candle up to this point right here at the time we was talking, right? And I was like, so you see that we're right back inside this big, we're still inside this big range, right? When price is just consolidating, right? So hopefully that helps it make sense as to what we was talking about this morning on the tape reading stream with the boot camp, right? Right, because we was talking about the power of three and talk about anticipating. And I also said, right, matter of fact, because we hadn't yet, we were this where we were right here. We were like this because we were talking about if you were bullish, right? If you were bullish on the day, right, you would want to see this low be protected, right? You would want to see that low be protected if you want to see a power of three on the day, right? Because that would give us our drop below, go above, and then that would give us our poke below the open, and then you would want to see that low protected because you don't want to take that low out if it's going to be a power of 3 day. You don't want to take that low out if it's a power of 3 day to the upside. And then that's when we talked. I was like, but we are in the middle. We are in a week where we're looking for a power of 3 week, and we have a huge imbalance, right? We have a huge imbalance. So anytime your higher time frame dealing range offers liquidity as internal liquidity, like this low and this low, we talk about these were internal liquidity marks for this higher time frame, right? You have to allow for the lower time frames to take this liquidity out. So that would be going bearish against the bullish narrative. And then that's when we went up in time and said, hey, anytime you can frame it 2 ways algorithmically, you're usually in the middle of the road or in some kind of consolidation on a higher time frame. And that's when we went up to the weekly and saw that we were indeed way up here.
Where's the remote?
On the remote on the coffee table.
Sorry about that.
Right. So now hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that cleared something up. I can't remember who was asking about that, but hopefully that cleared things up because that's up there. That high, that low you want to see protected. You see that's way up there, right? And we were still up there in that range pretty good there. And again, these are this is a weekly chart. So we're looking at how price closes on the weekly in respect to the weekly PD arrays, right? These weekly PD arrays there. Bullish order block, bullish breaker, and a bullish fair value gap there, right? With 2 imbalances on the top and the bottom, right? Looking at how price trades with all of those weekly PD arrays on a weekly closing basis. All right, let's go to 15 minutin. And we already said that today ended up playing out to be a power of 3 day on for the on the bearish side, right? Power of 3 day on the bearish side. We the internal liquidity that we talked about, that one was tagged. Sorry. This one was hit while we were on the live stream, right? That one was hit later And then there's another one down here that I did not mark that looked like we came very close to. We actually hit. I didn't mark that one out, but we actually hit that one, right? So we came all the way back down into this Bissy here. This, because this portion of this 15-minute Bissy has still not been repriced to, and we just tapped into it, right? Now the entire Bissy, the entire 15-minute Bissy, I know you're probably saying, Tim, you got your candle so small I can't see nothing, because we're talking about price overall. We're not looking at just individual places. We talking about how price is delivering right now. All right, so this is the portion of the imbalance that still hasn't been repriced to, right? And this is the entire imbalance, right? Portion that hasn't been repriced to, entire imbalance, right? Hadn't been repriced, entire imbalance. Hadn't been repriced, entire imbalance, right? So reprice down into that. Look at a 4-hour chart, right? Looking at the 4-hour chart, same thing. We repriced down into this bullish fair value gap on the 4-hour, right? Came down into the bullish fair value gap on y'all know what I'm talking about. The bullish fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame. Let's put a line there. Make that back smaller. Yep. So, yep. Traded back down into came right down into this huge bullish order block right here on the 4-hour time frame. Right, came right down up, just barely missed it. Did not, yep, just barely missed it. Did not touch it right there. Barely missed it there. Right, and this inversion fair value gap right here on the 4-hour time frame, right? And closed, respecting consequent encroachment of the inversion fair value gap on the 4-hour time frame here, right? Now this candle has opened up, traded towards the consequent encroachment, but still has not gone down. This candle here repriced all the way through just outside the low of the inversion fair value gap, closed, respecting it, right? But we did not touch this huge bullish order block right there. Did not touch it. Came very close to it, but did not touch it. All right, so that's the 4-hour PD raise that we have traded down into, right? And if you notice here, right, price traded down, traded back up, turned out to be an immediate rebalance, right? And we did it twice, right? This 6 a.m. candle came down to today's new day opening gap. This 10 a.m. candle opened up, repriced all the way back up into the last up close candle of the bullish order block, right? No chance of creating a SIBI. Closed with the opportunity to create a SIBI, but traded back up. No chance to create a SIBI, and then we got gone, right? Right, and then next candle also traded up. No chance of creating a SIBI, and then got gone, right? So we had two immediate rebalances on the 4-hour time frame, which brought us down into the area that we was talking about, right? We grab our handy dandy Fibonacci tool, go from the low of yesterday's price, right? That's yesterday's range here, right? That's yesterday's range to the top of there, right? And just looking at yesterday's range, we came back into a slight discount. But if we go to the high of the dealing range, because we never traded back down, right, it's in a little bit more of a discount, right? Coming back down to the low of this, and then that 4-hour, this 4-hour Bissy, right, is in a discount. This inversion fair value gap is in a discount. All this stuff is in a discount in the move. So price has moved to a discount. So now you're looking to see how price reacts off of these 4-hour anticipatory reactionary points. Will they be used as support to push back up, or will we continue to push through them, right? If you're looking for a bullish power of 3 week, let's where's our new week opening gap for this week? New week opening gap for this week, right? This is the open here, right? At that purple spot there. If I drop a line here, thicken him up, make him azul, right? That's our open for the week. Okay. Now, if we are anticipating a bullish power of 3 week, right? This is our open, right? We opened up, we traded below the open, right? Came back up, got a bug back above the open there, traded back down into the bullish order block, right? And then displaced away. Now we traded back down into the discount, right? So we've got our manipulation leg, right? We got an opportunity to get long below the open, right? We displaced away, and now this right here would be an opportunity to participate in the move, right? Remember I say Michael teaches the participation on the retracement. So with the institutional sponsorship, the evidence of the institutional sponsorship, we got to move to the discount. We got to move into sell side, right? We got evidence of buy side liquidity resting above price in the market, right? We got higher time frame displacement because we're displacing here on this 4-hour time frame, right? We trade back, right, into the order block, and then we displace away, right? We got another higher time displacement where we come and we engage that short-term buy-side liquidity in the market, right? And now we're retracing back down and looking for an opportunity to participate in the implied move of here, right? So that's what we're watching there to see if the algorithm continues to give us signs that that's what it wants to do. We won't know until Friday's over to see if it plays out. Or will we just stall out here and then continue next week to either go down or up? All right. Remember, it doesn't have to happen in the time we want it to happen. Right. And it rarely happens in the time when we want it to happen. Okay. Are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? Are we seeing it? Right. Okay. So still got quite a bit of an imbalance left here from CPI. All right. Now, for the bullish argument, right, we are digging in a lot deeper than I would like to see, right? Me no likey when you dig back through, right, this range like this right here. Now with this, how we cut through all of this right here, right, I would definitely not want to see price continue down, right? Because when you create a balanced price range and leave it, when you cut through it like that, right, I don't want to see price digging back down into it. That's just my personal preference of how I like to see price delivered. I like low resistance liquidity runs. I don't like the big pullbacks and deep retracements, right? And so when we pushed up and got above this area right here, right, I don't like the fact of us digging back down through that area, right? And also, we also mentioned that once we did get above this area right here, that completed a market maker buy model, right? That completed a market maker buy model. So if the algorithm wanted to go down, remember the buy side of a market maker buy model, right? It's the sell curve of a market maker sell model, right? Okay. So if this is where the algorithm was trying to get to as a terminus, right, then this right here would be the start of a sell model. And when you squanch the chart all the way up, right, you can see where we are in price. You can see, since we've been in all these difficult times, right, you can see all the cases you can make for both sides, right? Because we're still inside that big area of consolidation, right? Because you can see the argument you can pose for both sides, right? Because what did we say? When we come above a significant high, like an intermediate term high or a long-term high, what do we anticipate? Deeper retracements, right? So when we come above that high right there, that actually completed a smaller market maker model. But in the sense of this market maker model here, this is a significant high, because see, you got highs to the left and the right of it. That's a significant high right there, right? That's an intermediate term high. Some people may classify the long-term high, but that's a significant high. So whenever you take out significant levels like that, we anticipate deeper retracements. Once you take out intermediate term highs or lows, the short-term lows and highs are no longer safe, right? You can anticipate a short-term low or high being traded through, especially when it aligns with a higher time frame wanting to come back for a reason. Just like here, we're on a 15-minute chart, right? And we go above this 15-minute intermediate term high, and then we got a 4-hour inversion fair value gap down there inside the breaker leg on this 15-minute. And what do we say? Anytime you got an inversion fair value gap inside the breaker leg, you want to see price come back to that inversion fair value gap. And we got a 4-hour PD array resting in the breaker leg here, and then we take out a significant high and we get a deeper retracement back to that 4-hour PD array, and we take out all of these 15-minute short-term lows right here because we took out an intermediate term high. Right? Is it clicking? Are the clicks clicking? Tim, it always click when you saying it live, but when I'm watching price myself, I can't make no click. Did I just quote somebody inner thoughts just now?
Yep.
Did I just quote somebody inner thoughts? He'll learn. She said 100. What's going on, cuz? Cuz pulled up in here with us. Tish said, yep. Tish, how that grandbaby doing? Rhonda said, exactly. Rhonda, you better stop the cap. Stop the cap, Rhonda. As good as you are at reading these candles, stop the cap. Rhonda, man, I was just talking to I think it was either my mom or my wife. I was talking to somebody, and because they was like, won't you let the mentees like lead the class or something? Oh, he got a fever. Oh man. They're like, won't you let the mentees lead? I said, man, I tried to get the mentees when I was doing tape reading with Timmy. I was trying to get the gang to pull up, and I was like, at least once a week we're gonna have somebody lead the tape reading. And I was like, Rhonda was the only person that pulled up to do it. Everybody else sitting in the back. Nah, I got to go full screen for this. This is how they were sitting in the back of class. Hoping I wouldn't call them. What's going on, Empire Tradings? What's happening with you? Yeah, man. So, as y'all see, we came down. I got a couple PD arrays that I was watching. I was doing a little trading this afternoon, so I had some stuff that I was watching. I'll just go down to the 1 minute chart here. Okay, so this is what I got marked out. Right, I didn't have this marked out because I just put that there. This sell this 4 hour inversion fair value gap and this lower sell side down there. I didn't have those marked out. I just put those. Y'all just saw me draw those on there. So, but this is what I had marked out. Right. If you look here, you say, Tim, why do you have? I don't know if y'all can read it, but you say, Tim, why do you have two PD arrays that say bearish fair value gap first of session? I'm glad you asked that question, right? Because anything that Michael teaches, right, I look for the fractal nature in it. Okay, so this bearish PD array right here, this is a bearish fair value gap, right? This bearish fair value gap was made at 9:32 this morning, right? It was made at 9:32 this morning. I just saw some say congrats. What did I miss? Oh, y'all give it up for Empire Trades. Empire Trades. First, we're going to give it up for Empire Trades, right? Give it up for Empire Trades. All right, congratulations. But first thing, it says I made 4.5K this week, and then it said thanks to you. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just, look here, Empire Trades. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just some guy from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, who's sharing his understanding of some concepts with people out here on Al Gore's internet. You took the time to study the concepts. You took the time to study the charts, and you pressed the button. So that's all on you. Congratulations. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? It ain't thanks to me. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for pulling up, but that's all on you. What you put in your mouth, don't put in my toilet. Congratulations to Empire Traders, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. Congratulations. So this one right here was made at 9:32 in the morning, right? So at 9:32 in the morning, right? Somebody that's in the Discord, unmute and tell me, right? What happens at 9:30? Right? What is 9:30? What happens at 9:30? I'm listening.
It's the start of the New York session.
Yes. So at 9:30, it's the start of the New York session. So if we look here, this is the 9:30 candle. This the 9:31 candle. This is the 9:32 candle. So from 9:30 up until 9:32, this is the first fair value gap that was created during the New York morning session, right? On the 1 minute chart, that is. That's my first of session fair value gap, right? First presentation. That's the fancy name Michael gave it in 2024. Right? Back in 2022, when he introduced them, he just used to say, pay attention to that 938 candle. I mean, a 938 Sibby, that 938 Bissy, right? And then I started to notice, I'm like, he's always talking about the first fair value gap during this session. I need to do more research on that. So if we move forward over here, right? I had another one marked out right here, right? You see this right here? This right here, this candle right here is the 133 candle, right? 133. And if we come over here, this candle is 130, 132. This is 130, 131, 132, and 133, right? Somebody in Discord unmute and tell me what is 130? What starts at 130?
1:30.
The PM session.
The PM session starts at 1:30. So that's the first fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame that was created during the PM session, right? I always look for the fractal nature of all the concepts that he teach, right? And if we look here today, and this is stuff that I was using for my own trading this afternoon. That's why it's on my chart still, with the exception of this red line and this red box. Matter of fact, let me move it because this wasn't on my charts, right? I don't want nobody to say stop the cap, right? That wasn't on my charts. This is what was on my charts, right? And so we had talked about this sell side this morning during the briefing. We talked about this sell side up here this morning during the stream, right? And we talked about this daily fair value, this new day opening gap, and this new day opening gap. That's why I put them on the charts. Once we traded down to a certain level, we went and got other locations that price could expand toward, because one of the members was like, is it confluence if we got the new day opening gap down there that we can probably get that gap fill? And then we went through all that, talking about the new day opening gap being magnets on price, and then the narrative saying blah, 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 blah. And then boom. And then so we pointed out more new day opening gaps. So that's why all of that stuff is on my chart down there, right? And so now that we've taken out that sell side right there that we said for a bullish power of 3 day, you want to see this sell side be protected, right? And then we had taken it. Since we had taken it, right, now I'm looking down, right? I'm not looking up anymore. I'm looking down because we have taken that sell side liquidity there. Okay, now that we've taken that sell side liquidity, so now I'm looking down. And if we look over here, right, we come down before we even take that low, right? What do? We trade back up to the first presentation fair value gap. Now we can stretch it out and look at the detail of the candles, right? So we trade back up into the first presentation fair value gap. Boom, right? We hit it, right? Respect consequent encroachment of it. Poke above yesterday's high one more time. Trade back down into that fair value gap right there. Trade back above, taking out the buy side, right? Trading up and just poking through that buy side right there, right? Went up there, boop, just went through that buy side there. Now, when price is in a sell program, right, you want to see it reject highs, right? Even if you take it, you want to see it reject. So soon as we poked above that high right there, right, price got back down up off of it and dropped immediately, right? Taking out that low, right? Going straight back down, giving us a break in market structure to the downside. And where did that exchange take place? Right at that first presentation fair value gap. We went to it, respect consequent encroachment, pulled back into the imbalance, went up, took out the buy side, and immediately got back down below that first presentation fair value gap, traded back up to consequent encroachment again, right? Traded up to consequent encroachment of the first presentation fair value gap again, and got gone, right? Price got gone. Okay. Now, coming over here to the afternoon, right? Coming over here to the afternoon session. Price came down, right? During the afternoon, created the first presentation fair value gap, right? Traded down, came here, traded back up. Where do we come back to? First presentation fair value gap. Hung out there for a minute, right? Dropped down, took out sell side, right? Got back on top of the first presentation fair value gap, right? Traded into that discount fair value gap and balanced price range, right? Pushed back up, came back down to first presentation fair value gap from the afternoon, pushed up, poked above the midnight open, right?
poked above the midnight open, and then dropped it like it's hard. Got back below the first presentation fair value gap, traded back up to it again, right? Dropped one more time, traded back up to it again, dropped at the end of the day, right? I always look for the fractal nature of anything that Michael Huddleston teaches. In the first presentation fair value gap, you can use it for whatever your time frame is, right? Because I've seen him use a 5-minute or 15-minute first presentation fair value gap over a 1-minute one, because like I say, price is fractal. Right? Let's go ahead and look at this area over here. Okay, let me put this line here. All right. Okay. There's my line. All right, here. So this right here is the 930 candle there. So this is the 930 candle, but that 930 candle wouldn't exist for a first presentation, because in regular trading hours, right? In regular trading hours, this is the 930 candle right there. So that don't exist as a fair value gap. So you would have to look for a fair value gap after that, and that wouldn't be until all the way over here for the 5-minute time frame. Right? That wouldn't be until there for the 5-minute time frame. Right? Because for the 5-minute time frame, right, no fair value gap here. Right, the 930 candle, you can't use the first candle of that time frame. Like on the 1 minute, you can't use the 930 candle, right? So on the 5-minute, you can't use that 930 candle, right? Because the fair value gap doesn't exist in regular trading hours, right? So, and on the 5-minute time frame, as you see here, there's no fair value gap, no fair value gap, no fair value gap, no fair value gap, no fair value. First fair value gap right here on the 5-minute time frame. And now look at the price sensitivity of that first presentation fair value gap on the 5. Much cleaner than the 1 minute, right? Much cleaner than the 1 minute, right? Price came down. God dog it. Price came down, consolidated, right? Created first presentation fair value gap, traded up into a fair value gap, right? This is a fair value gap on electronic time, but all it did was come above and poke that high. Remember that high we was talking about? It went up, poked that high, and got up off it, right? When it got up off it, it came down back to the first presentation fair value gap, created an inversion of that inversion fair value gap, right? Came down, took out the sell side, letting you know that it wants to go lower, traded back up to the first presentation fair value gap, right? Came into that there, poked up, right? Dropped back down. Where are we? Inside that first presentation fair value gap, just engineering liquidity, right? And then dropped it like it's hot, right? And then once we came down here into this hourly order block, right? Because you can see I had marked that out. I was watching that hourly order block. Came down to that hourly order block, right? Start to displace up, retrace back down to that, and push back up where? That old dirty first presentation fair value gap above midnight price. And then we dropped it like it's hot. Hey, man, them candy red softballs calling my name, man. If ain't nobody got anything, I'm finna go eat me some oxtails. Yeah, man. Do anybody got anything for me? Do anybody got it? Say no, cause I'm finna go eat me some oxtails. Yeah, man. Oxtails. Not to be confused with ox booties. I'm eating oxtails. I'm headed in there to my table, going to eat some oxtails. Not to be confused with ox booties. I'm eating oxtails. I got a question. Why do they call them oxtails? Isn't it just the tail off the cow? Don't oxtails come from a cow? We not eating ox. I've never seen an ox in the U.S. Do they have ox? Do they have oxen over here? When last time y'all seen an ox? When I be driving across Georgia, I see a whole heap of cows. I ain't seen an ox unless I went to a zoo. And they ain't got that many oxen. Let's do this before I leave. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all welcome to leave. Oxen are domesticated cattle that originated in Asia, Africa, Europe, and North America. Yep, they over here. Okay, they've been over here. I mean, they've been over here for a while, right? But they call them oxtails, but I don't think that's coming off ox. Oxtail can come from either a cow or an ox, but today it is usually from cattle raised for beef. So today they come from cows. They say it can come from a cow or ox, but these days it come from cows. What you say, Empire Traders? It says, would it be safe to say that today closing was going down to get liquidity like today's morning and we go up to a fair value gap only to go down more tomorrow or next week? Let us ask our trusty friend. Oh, crystal ball. Hey. Oh, crystal ball. Empire Trading says, will we go down for more liquidity tomorrow or next week? Week. Man, I don't know. I ain't gonna stop and look this time because I'm going to eat me some oxtails. Go back through the way I shared with y'all before, how when you look at price, you say, if price does this, then it should do that. Go back through price and do that. And with that, I yield my time. Again, thank you for tuning in. It's your boy, Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya Grande. There ain't nothing but Big Spider if you don't hablo Espanol. And till the next time, y'all be safe out here in these trading streets. Gone. Yeah.